This week, we hear from Georgia Laurie on the superhero move to save her twin sister from a crocodile that's earned her a bravery award from King Charles. Meet the Gardner brothers, Michael and Matthew, who are bringing the joy of Irish dancing to a global stage. We go to Thailand to find out what happens if you let children take control of their school. And Sven, the heartbroken reindeer, finds new love. The Happy Pod, a selection of uplifting stories after this news bulletin.
BBC News, I'm John Shea. Britain's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak says voters have a choice between economic stability and what he called the opposition's lack of an economic plan. He was speaking a day after calling a snap election to be held in 6 weeks' time. The opposition Labour Party insists it'll end what it calls 14 years of chaos. Taiwan's new president, William Lai, has promised to defend freedom and democracy after China launched military exercises around the island. Beijing said it was testing its ability to strike and encircle Taiwan, which it considers part of its own territory. Another high-ranking member of the Russian military has been arrested. General Vadim Shamarin, the Deputy Chief of General Staff, is the fourth senior official to be arrested since April. Police in France say they've arrested a man who they believe was planning to attack spectators at the Olympic torch relay as it passed through the city of Bordeaux. The relay will progress as planned. Thailand's Constitutional Court has agreed to consider a case seeking to dismiss the Prime Minister for giving a ministerial position to someone who'd been in jail. The petition was brought by senators who'd been handpicked by Thailand's military. A merchant ship has reportedly been attacked off the coast of Yemen. A maritime security firm said a missile landed near the vessel around 120 kilometres from the Red Sea port of Hodeidah. The authorities in Tanzania say at least 11 people have died following an explosion at a sugar factory. Among the victims are local employees as well as nationals from Brazil, India, China and Kenya. And the tourism department in Kathmandu says a Nepalese climber has broken the record for the quickest ever ascent of Mount Everest by a woman. She took just 14 hours and 31 minutes to get from base camp to the summit, bettering the time of almost 26 hours set 3 years ago. BBC News.
This is the Happy Pod from the BBC World Service.
Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agent, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? God, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy. JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233244941 002 or 00233200606 and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired. Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233244941 or 00233200606 and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
The best radio show. The best radio show.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Body is your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We call them London for home. For here, we call them London. And that's
the best radio show.
Have fun and stay blessed.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world.
This is Starr Radio UK.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Star Radio UK and The Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This is
UK.
Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Star Radio. Star Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Oh yeah! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. This is Star Radio UK. This is the Thursday edition of the morning show. Today is the 23rd day of May, the year 2024 at 10 minutes to 11, and it's the Thursday edition of the Star Radio UK morning show. I remain yours sincerely. If you didn't hear,
This is the morning show with Archie.
So from now till 12 o'clock exactly, I'm going to bring you everything from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. If it's making the headlines, we're going to be touching on that as well. So all that I will say, just keep your dial so logged on Star Radio UK. Let me say good morning to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. Good morning to you, Perry. I can see him in the house as well. Yes, I won't mention his botanical name, Agbo. And let me say good morning to you all. Kojodi, good morning. David and Emmanuel Amani Dake, good morning to you all. I know it's just a week after the calling to glory of your mom, and I know it's quite a difficult time, but wherever you are listening to us from, I want to salute you, and I hope that you are all doing good. Yes, whatever and however the challenge might be. And also, let me say good morning to Bishop Adeshina, Anthony Adeneji, Pastor Emmanuel Chidi. I salute you. To also some Maxwell, wherever you are, good morning to you. And Maxwell Nyamedi all the way in Northampton as well. I salute you and your family there as well. Do me a massive favor, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones, and invite them to like our pages. Felix all the way in Aberdeen, massive good morning to you. Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, hey Kofi, I hope you are doing good. And Mr. Malik Dramani Mahama, yes, Malik, good morning to you. And I know NDC this year, you're going to be doing lots of things, so for sure I'm going to be getting in touch with you. Mr. Kitiosin of the PPP, massive good morning to you, sir. And Mr. Bobo of the MPP, good morning. Mr. Afriye of the NDC, good morning. So you see, I have been fair to everybody, right? Yeah, man. Okay, but wherever you are, stay tuned, don't touch the dial. Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Exactly 8 minutes to the top of the hour, and let's crack on. But while the program I'm going to bring you the quote for the day. The weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, and that is known as Global Trotting. Then after that, we'll move on from there, having a look at what is happening in details across the globe. Of course, I'm going to bring in some music. The program will not be void of music. At 11:45, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussion. And exactly at 12 o'clock, I bring the curtains down for the end of the program. So in a gist, that's what's going to happen. This is Star Radio UK. This is the Thursday edition of the morning show. And let's kick off.
You are listening to Star Radio Morning Show.
The quote for the day says, patience gives you the ability to create your own opportunities with time. Patience gives you the ability to create your own opportunities with time. So no rushing, taking your time, but not stalking as well. So you haste slowly. Yeah? And then you are able to create the opportunity, and then you see that you are in control. But one thing that I always say is that acquire knowledge about whatever thing that you want to do. Acquire knowledge to do so. Let me say good morning to Sister Gina as well. Yes. I hope you are doing very well as well, and work is good. Yes. She's saying that work is very good. We thank God for that. Okay. Now let me take you straight to the weather front. Well, here in London, yesterday it was pouring down like no man's business while the Prime Minister was calling, standing at number 10 Downing Street in the rains and calling an election. And he was drenched badly. But hey, let's see what is going to happen today. What do you think about that? Well. Now this afternoon we'll see a mix of sunny spells and patchy cloud, but it should remain largely dry. Sunshine looks to become more widespread in the evening. Now tonight is expected to be dry and mainly clear. There will just be the odd passing cloud. A gentle westerly breeze will be associated as well. The top temperature is going to be 18 degrees. The lower is going to be 8 degrees. Pollen level is going to be moderate. UV level, moderate pollution. Low sunset 20:58, and sunrise for tomorrow morning 04:57 hours. Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. That takes us straight to the travel updates as well. So on your travels this morning, let me say, keep your eyes on the roads, and we'll keep you navigated. Our promise our bond. So what is happening on the underground this morning? I can tell you shortly. In London, good service throughout DLR, London Overground, good service there, and taking you straight on to the major roads in London. A3 and South Circular A205 have all got what? Serious delays. And also the River Bus is running a good service there. The London Cable Car is also running good service. They're bringing us straight to the final segment of the travel update, and that is the National Rail. What have I got for you? Well, on the National Rail this morning, whilst you keep your eyes on the roads, Avanti West Coast has got severe delays. First Transparent Express severe delays, and ScotRail severe delays. Also, East Midlands Railway experiencing minor delays, Island Line minor delays, Merseyrail minor delays, Northern Rail minor delays. That aside, all the others are running a good service, and as I will say it once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes where? On the roads. Let's take a quick commercial break. We come back and we continue with the show. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Stay tuned.
Experience at the Saturday, June 15th, 2024. Doors open at 10 a.m. Admission is free, but registration is required. It's where miracles happen, lives are transformed, hope is restored, and stories are forever changed. Our story mirrors that of Mary and Elizabeth, two ordinary chosen women who gave birth to greatness. Meet Mel and her mum, whose relationship blossomed into a beautiful friendship and thriving business.
Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say order, you say fire.
Yes, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now exactly 2 minutes past the top of the hour, Thursday. Yes, in the next 6 weeks, exactly today, it will be election day here in the UK. I'm going to be telling you more about all that, whether the move by the Prime Minister was the right one, whether he made the right move, and circumstances surrounding during the presentation, everything that took place there. How would you read into that? Somebody says that when rain falls on you, it's a showers of blessing. When you are being drenched, what about that? Then when you are making such a statement, looking at the polls that you are far behind your competitor, call it 20% plus. Now, why do you call an election? Especially when that was the day before yesterday or yesterday morning, we had the Office of the National Statistics saying that the inflation has fallen. Inflation has fallen from 3.2% to 3.2% to 2.3%. So some 0.9%. For that, why don't you wait for maybe a month or two where people will now begin to feel, because we know that the Bank of England will now come in to maybe cut down or bring down the interest rate. Now you can be using that to be champion your cause. But well, he decided to just call it, you know what, it's time for elections, let's crack the whip. And well, so we're going to be monitoring very, very closely to see what is going to happen. But that's going to be the top of our discussions. Do you think he made the right call, or he's called for his own head? Well. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So now let's move on. To the stories making the rounds. Now, when it comes to Nigeria, this is what we're going to be looking at from Nigeria. Now, Nigeria students in UK are expelled, forced to leave country amid currency crisis. So the fall in the naira, the rate of naira pertaining to vis-a-vis the dollar, is causing people to even lose their educational the chance of their education here and in other parts of the world, for sure. If your parents, whatever money that you saved, government is looking at that to keep you in the place, and then they are looking at whatever you're making now, then they think, no, that's not good enough. Well. Now, governors are turning local government election to mere coronation. INEC chair is saying the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has raised concerns about the conduct of local government elections in the country. Yakubu described the local government election as mere coronation of ruling party candidates, calling for significant reforms to ensure fair and credible election. The INEC chairman, so I'm going to tell you more about that. What reforms do you think can be put in place? If we say we don't want it to be partisan, how do we do that? And with all those people, what do they call them? Kingmakers and all those things. How do you see that? Now, CBN has directed all BDCs to reapply for new licenses. Why and how? Now, regional military forces needed to tackle coup, terrorism. That's what Tinubu is saying. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has advocated for empowering of regional blocks to establish standby military forces to contain military adventurers and acts of terrorism. Now, people will say that, well, we will adhere to that provided when leaders of the various countries in the sub-region are called to order, or whatever the things they are doing, they are called or attentions are drawn to it and say, look into whatever you are doing very, very well, because that can come back to bite you in the backside. They adhere to that. But if they not, then it gets to a point when people cannot take it any longer. People think the best way forward is to get rid of them. So you see them, the leadership, overseeing lots of corruption. Then you ask yourself the question, what next? Well. Borrowers face surge in interest rate payment after CBN rate hikes. Yeah, of course, when interest rate goes up, borrowers suffer. Now, why I will keep contesting for presidency, Atiku is saying that the 2023 presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has said he will keep contesting for the Nigerian presidency as long as he is hale and hearty. And I'll be telling you more about that. The meeting that they've had, the PDP had with the Labour Party, that's the Labour leader and the PDP leader and a couple other parties had that meeting that they've had. Is it that he is going to be the forerunner, and then Pishobi is going to be maybe the running mate, and then maybe after one term then Pishobi will now run for as a vice president, will now run for the presidency itself? What do you think? Well, Aliko Dangote calls for more investment to boost Africa's economic growth. He urged African nations to resist the urge to export raw materials, but to nurture domestic manufacturing capabilities as to reduce dependency on imported consumer goods. Of course, Nigeria is exporting what quantity of crude oil? Meanwhile, they have refineries that are not functioning. So you ask yourself the question, what have we got brains in our heads? Well, some of the things that have gone too hard, but well, listeners, that's what I had to say. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Alleged safety violation, federal government fully in support of air peace, Kiamo is saying, and DHQ challenges government radar to provide proof of military aiding terrorism. That's some of the stories I'm going to be looking at when it comes to Nigeria. When it comes to the other African countries, Biden hosts Kenyan William Ruto to strengthen tech cooperation. What negotiations are they going in for? Well, the El Nino weather phenomenon has exacerbated global climate crisis, impacting the UN is making a statement there. We're going to be telling you more about that. And delegates advocate for universal clean cooking. Okay? From where to where? And generator fumes kill 7 university students in Nigeria. Those are some of the stories making the rounds. And Zuma barred from election by High Court, and there have been a bit of skirmishes going on there. Tunisia sentences journalists to a year in prison for criticizing government. So if you criticize government, now, is it constructive criticism or calling them out that, look, you're supposed to be doing this, you've not done that? If somebody makes that statement, and in this dispensation that we think that we are practicing some sort of pseudo-democracy, do you think that is the right thing? Well, Hobson Adoy is in custody over his dynamite detonations claims. We'll be looking into that as well. He's part of the ruling. He's supposed to be a member of the ruling party, but apparently he's been fired. I'll be telling you more about all that as the program goes on. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, now in other stories that I'm bringing your way as well. Now, Volta region or Togo, the two versions of Hobson Adoye's Dynamite, will be asking you more about that. And detain all Alan supporters, M4C members, storm police station over Hobson Adoye's arrest. Why? All that, we're telling you more about that as well. Boabina Samoa reveals Hobson Adoye's crime. Well, what crime has he committed? Well. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. And what are the positions so far in the Ghanaian politics? Because we're looking at the times that, well, come December 7, Ghanaians will be going to the polls. And what is the results going to be for them? Now, China has held military drills around Taiwan as punishment. Listen, now the world, we don't live in that world. There's a world order. He who wills lives. And the strongest will always defeat the weakest. Shall I put it that way? It becomes the survivors of the fittest. You see what is happening in Ukraine? Well, Russia thinks we are strong. They flex their muscles. Now, you see what is happening in Israel, Gaza, and all those bits is because, well, the Hamas people, what they did very wrong, attacking and killing people, well. But when it happens that during these times we have Israel, who are being called to order, decide that, look, we don't give a hoot about whatever, but we'll go on to do whatever we want to do, and they end up that way. You ask yourself the question, what have I got? Or what have I, as I say, what have I got news for you? Well. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean. Have we got to a new dispensation or a new era where those who wield power are the ones who survive? Well, wherever you are, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. We'll still move on from there. Let's have a look at some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world as well. Starr Radio UK. Unprecedented insurrection in New Caledonia. That's what the president of France is saying. Macron is saying that there are unprecedented insurrection there. There have been some unrest there, but we'll be telling you more about all that. A Czech court, extradition of U.S. murder plot accused. We'll be telling you more about that as well. And Nikki Haley says she is voting Trump for president. Of course, you belong to the what do you call them? I was going to call them the Conservative Party, the Republican Party. So who else do you vote for? Lots more going to be coming your way from there. Now to the UK front. The Prime Minister yesterday called for an election where people least expected. For that reason, there are lots of push that is going on. Keir Starmer says election is chance to turn the page as campaigns kick off. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Labour leader Keir Starmer are travelling around the UK the day after the election date was announced, and that election is going to take place on the 4th of July. So by the 5th of July, we'll know whether it's still Rishi or it's a Keir. We'll be following very, very closely. Well, one of the people who they were thinking might throw his hat into the ring for this election was Nigel Farage. But so everybody was waiting for Nigel Farage to make his move, because it looked like the Conservatives were of the view that if Nigel Farage makes his move, then it's going to split the Conservative support there as well. But Farage has ruled out standing in the general elections. And the ONS has come out to say that net migration to UK fell 10% last year. Those and a lot more making the rounds. A former Scotland Health Secretary faces 27-day suspension over iPad scandal. And a girl has died after being caught in mudslide. Those are some of the stories making the rounds this morning. This is Star Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. At 11:15, let's enjoy this music and we continue. This is from A Song to the King by the Mega Choir. Enjoy it, and I'll be with you.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Hey, make oh singe miatela mi famice close poi mi famice close poi mi famice close poi mi fiala mi famice close
Okay, some nice tune there. And I hope that it has made your morning. It's not Christmas, yeah, but it could be Christmas for you. What about that? A lovely tune from the mega choir, Songs to the King. We sing to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Let's take a quick commercial break. We come back and we continue with the program. Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy. JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenating, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Star Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program Star Radio UK. Let me take some socials and then we bring you everything that you need to know. Now, the Lady to Lady Conference 2024 is taking place on the 15th of June at the Fairfields Hall in Croydon. Yes, one of the performers there, or performers there, will be Ada Ehi, who will be ministering the nice gospel tunes there for you. If you want to be part of it, just go to www.ladytoladyglobal.org and you can do so. The theme is Clothed in Grace. Well, the doors will be open at 10 a.m. On the 15th of June. And also, you are invited to their 15th annual Women's Conference in 2024. Yes, as I've said, you can scan the QR code there as well and get all the necessary information that you need to get as well. So, wherever you are, this is Star Radio UK. Let's move on and let's look at what is happening currently across the globe as we are already behind time. Well, the sad story that is happening is that some Nigerian students in the UK have been expelled from their courses and ordered to leave the country due to currency crisis that has left them unable to pay tuition. Students from Teesside University were prevented from attending classes, with numerous citing the devaluation of the naira as the reason for their depleted savings, rendering them unable to afford their fees. Now, speaking to the BBC, some students described the toll on their mental health, with some experiencing suicidal thoughts and depression due to the university's strict handling of payment defaulters. Now, Nigeria is grappling with an inflation rate of nearly 34%, is undergoing its worst economic crisis, impacting various sectors, including Nigeria students abroad. Now, Teesside universities require students to show proof of funds to cover their studies and living expenses. However, with the naira depreciating by 100% against the dollar in a year, these funds have significantly diminished. Additionally, the university shifts from 7 installment payment to 3 has exacerbated the financial strain on students. Adenike Ibrahim, a student nearing the end of her 2-year study, missed one payment and was subsequently expelled and reported to the Home Office. I did default on payment, but I had already paid 90% of my tuition fees and attended all my classes, she said. Although she paid outstanding fees, she has not been re-enrolled and was ordered to leave the country with her young son. The Home Office informed defaulting students that their permission to stay in the UK was revoked because they were no longer enrolled in their studies. Whoops. A letter from the Home Office indicated a departure date and stated that students had no right of appeal or administrative review against the decision. Another student, Esther Obigwe, stated, I attended all my classes and seminars. I'm an active student. It is disheartening. I am now on antidepressants and have nobody to talk to here. A university spokesman said Teesside University is proud to be a global institution with a diverse student population, but we must comply with visa regulations. These external regulations are beyond the university's control. The university is aware of the financial challenges faced by some students and has offered bespoke payment plans where requested. However, some students have still defaulted on these revised plans. While some students have managed to pay their outstanding fees, the university is no longer able to intervene in the Home Office process. The Home Office clarified that the authority to offer or withdraw visa sponsorship rests with the sponsoring institution. A spokesman said that if a visa is shortened or cancelled, individuals should take steps to regularize their stay or make arrangements to leave the UK. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, whilst that banter goes on, the Central Bank of Nigeria has directed all Bureau de Change operators in the country to reapply for new operational licenses by June 3 in order to continue to operate in the forex market. The BDCs are also to meet the new deadline of 2 billion naira for tier 1 and 500 million for tier 2 operators. Now, leadership reports that a new minimum capital for the PDCs have been announced in the revised regulatory and supervisory guidelines for Bureau de Change operations in Nigeria earlier in February this year. However, a circular issued on Wednesday and signed by the CBN Director, Financial Policy and Regulations Department, Haruna Mustafa, had given the latest directives. According to the circular, the guidelines were part of their reforms to reposition the BDC's subsector to play its envisioned role in the foreign exchange market in Nigeria. The guidelines, amongst others, introduce new licensing requirements and categories of BDCs as well as revised permissions, activities, financial requirements, corporate governance requirements, and AMLCLT provisions for BDCs. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. And how would that help solve the challenging situation that they find themselves, Nigerians find themselves in? Starr Radio UK. Okay, now let's look at how we're trying to make money for the country. Aliko Dangote has called for more investments to boost Africa's economic growth. Now, he urged African nations to resist the urge to export raw materials but to nurture domestic manufacturing capabilities so as to reduce dependency on imported consumer goods. Now, President of the Pan-African conglomerate Dangote Industries Limited, Aliko Dangote, wants increased investment in the African continent to foster its rapid growth and development. Now, speaking at the largest gathering of private sector leaders in Africa, the Africa CEO Forum in Kigali, Rwanda, Dangote emphasized that recent trends underscores Africa's pivotal role as the future epicenter of global progress. The business mogul cautioned against the continent's over-reliance on raw material exports, but advocating instead for strategic investment that will propel indigenous industries. He urged African nations to resist the urge to export raw materials, but to nurture domestic manufacturing capabilities so as to reduce dependency on imported consumer goods. In a quote, he said, looking ahead, Africa holds the key to its greatness. I'm not merely investing money, but dedicating my entire being to this cause. In Africa, possibilities are boundless. It's like a scratch card. You won't know what is inside unless you scratch it. For some of us, despite the boom of the capital market in the US, we didn't really participate. Rather, we invested in Africa, he affirmed. His advocacy is coming appropriately on the heels of our need to boost manufacturing and export of value-added goods, and thus earn more forex and strengthen the Nigerian currency. Same action applies to the other African countries. And how true is that? It's over the past 7 years, Dangote said he had channeled over $25 billion into bolstering Africa's self-sufficiency in vital sectors such as fertilizer, petrochemicals, and refined products. Notably, he said the monumental Dangote refinery, boasting capacity of 650,000 barrels per day, stand poised to meet the burgeoning demand across West Africa, Central Africa, and South Africa. He said, we have finished our refinery. It is quite big. We believe it is what Africa needs. If you look at the entire continent, there are only 2 countries that don't import petroleum products, only in Algeria and Libya. But the rest import. We need to change that so we don't just produce raw materials, but finished products and create jobs. One of the things we need to know as Africans is that when we produce raw materials and export them, while others dump finished products on our continent, what we are doing is that we are importing poverty while exporting jobs. We must change the narrative. How true is that? Well, but with our leaders listening to that, or again, are we going to have a situation where all that they are looking at is, oh, you know what, the quick money that we are getting, the quick fix. So instead of investing in ventures where we are going to generate money from adding value to the raw materials that we are producing, they wouldn't do so. But it's 11:33. Let's move on quickly. Now, regional military forces needed to tackle coups, terrorism, Tinubu is saying. If he talks about terrorism, I will agree with him. But when he talks about coups, I don't seem to agree with him. Somebody say, why? Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has advocated the empowering of regional blocs to establish standby military forces to contain military adventures and acts of terrorism. He also called for the strengthening of regional economic communities to drive integration and trade ties among African nations in order to deepen democracy and accelerate development across the continent. Tinubu, who made a call during the summit on the state of democracy in Africa yesterday in Abuja, called for revitalization of sub-regional blocs like Economic Community of West Africa, ECOWAS, East African Community, EAC, and South African Development Community, SADC, as vehicles to usher in an era of robust intra-African commerce, economic growth, and job creation. The president, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, noted the despair about democratic reversals due to recent military coups, but expressed optimism about successful election held in Liberia, Kenya, Ghana, and Nigeria. According to a statement by Shettima's media aide, Stanley Nwocha, Tinubu, in a keynote address, said the tragedies of our nations and histories inspire our concerns about reversals and democratic government, particularly in West Africa. That's why we are alarmed by the military coups in Mali, Guinea, Conakry, Burkina Faso, Niger Republic, and Gabon. He, however, advocated for discussions on empowering regional blocs to establish well-funded standby military forces to help contain military adventurers and rampaging waves of terrorism and religious extremism. Now, if we are standing for terrorism, forming this military high command or body to fight or combat terrorism or religious extremism, fine. But if you say that we are forming that so that it becomes a standing force to quell coup d'etats in our various countries, then that I have a problem with. Because when leadership sits and when advice is being given, they say that, well, let's take a typical example of what has happened in Togo. Now, there was that deal with the Togolese president that, look, you have to change the constitution such that you don't stand for an election, blah, 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 blah. And it was going on for a long time. Now, there was some sort of a truce that was formed, and then the next moment, he has done everything. So, the constitution that has been made is such that it's going to keep him in position. What about La Côte d'Ivoire? Now, what about leaders sitting down and overseeing corruption, rampaging, siphoning of state funds, just going like that in various African countries? So, if some people decide that, look, working at this democracy doesn't seem to be working the way they're supposed to be working, because they say, oh, let's use the law, and they're using that same law to be stepping on our necks and siphoning the little air that we are breathing, then what do? So I'm of the view that, well, those military, standing military force could be used for fighting terrorism and religious extremism. However, when it comes to coup d'etats, no, I don't agree to that. Unless, of course, leadership of the various countries on the continent are going to adhere to the advice, let's say, from the sub-regional bodies and maybe ASU as a whole, so that when somebody is in position and they think that they are doing things, or their party are members, or their party is overseeing wanton corruption going on and stuff like that, they would say that, look, call your people to order, or there are election irregularities, they tell you, call your people to order. If not, when anything of the sort happens, you're not going to have any military intervening or anything of the sort. Listeners, let us start radio. Okay, when you see that in Gambia back in the day when Yaya Jammeh was supposed to have lost election and was still entrenched himself there, thinking he was going to do everything, and the next moment we had the ECOMOG, that is the ECOWAS regional force going in, and because of that he had to relinquish power for the new president of Gambia, who now also took the reins and then went into sort of a coalition with another group, and after some time decided to back out of it. So already there are people who think that, well, you are not a man of your word. Adama Barrow. So let's see what is going to happen there. But it's not coming away from Starr Radio UK. I think I might have to bring that update to a close there. Let's move on straight, because we are already pressed with time. Now, when it comes to other countries in the sub-region, Rwanda president defends his country's refugee track record. Well, we know that the Prime Minister of the UK is vowing to send people, or those who are crossing the the channel with the small boats, vowing to get them to that place. But let's see what he's saying. In a virtual address to the Global Security Forum in Qatar, Rwanda's President Paul Kagame on Wednesday defended his country's track record in assisting refugees. Now, human rights activists and others have criticized a new British law that will see Kigali paid for receiving illegal asylum seekers deported from the United Kingdom. Now, Kagame said the issue hosting migrants was not new to Rwanda and started way before its deal with the UK. In fact, even today, we are processing migrants who are stuck in Libya, who are trying to cross into Europe and got stuck there, or others who are dying in the Mediterranean, he said. Kagame said providing a safe haven for people to Rwanda or be processed through the country to wherever they wanted to go dates back as 2018. At that time, we had no agreement with anyone, so there wasn't anyone going to pay for it except ourselves. But people who work for migration institutions, international institutions, or UNHCR, and so on, he said. Since 2018, hundreds of thousands and thousands of people have been brought by air from Libya to Rwanda. This is what the UK, I noticed, what the UK, I think, noticed, that there was another way of dealing with its problem. But how many people can be dumped in that country? And what is going to happen to them after some time? Are Rwandans going to say, look, we have too many of these ones here, and we have too many criminalities going on, so who do we point our fingers to? These ones. But what do you think about all that? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In Tunisia, a Tunisian court on Wednesday, May 22, sentenced 2 TV and radio journalists to 1 year in prison for criticizing government on their programs and on social network. Bohan, Zais, Moraz, Zagidi were each given 6 months imprisonment for disseminating fake news and an additional 6 months for making false statements with the aim of defaming others. In reference to Tunisian President Kais Saied, court spokesperson Mohamed Zitouna said the sentence came less than 2 weeks after both were arrested. They are among a broader group of journalists, activists, and lawyers charged under Decree 54, a law criminalizing the dissemination of fake news aimed at harming public safety or national defense. So, why does the government not come out to come and defend itself or come and tell us exactly what they think is going on? So I say you have killed 10 people. He said, no, it was only one person who died. Come and defend yourself so the public know. But by so doing now, I think they are trying to clamp down on this and say, therefore, nobody can make any noise. They shut you down, right? Okay. Hobson Adoya is in custody over his dynamite detonation claims. Now, Hobson Adoya have been arrested by the police over his claim that he detonated dynamite in the Volta region during the 2016 general election. Mr. Adoya made this claim during a radio interview in Accra, which has since gone viral. He is currently in custody and, according to sources, will appear before court. Let me tell you more about that. Did he do that? Did people lose their lives because of that? Well, interesting. So if people do those things, how does it actually help us? Well, but he's gone out. I think he's been discharged. The Dan Suman Circuit Court has granted bail to Hobson Adoya in the sum of 20,000 Ghana cedis after pleading not guilty to the charge of publication of false news. As part of his bail conditions, the court said he is to produce 2 sureties, one of whom should be justified. Mr. Adoya was arrested on Wednesday, May 22, after he is said to have confessed of detonating some dynamite in the run-up to the 2016 elections. Now, let's move on straight to one of the other stories linked to that. A leading member of Alan Chamartin's movement for change, M4C, Hobson Adoya, was arrested. Okay, his claim. Okay, Adoya said the operation was primarily to prevent supposed Togolese nationals from crossing over and voting in the 2016 general election, despite claiming that initially that the operation happened in the Volta region. He subsequently clarified that the incident actually happened in Togo, where he actively engaged traditional leaders to thwart the illegal voters from coming in to vote. He said, we detonated dynamite in Volta region during 2016 election. During an interview on Accra FM, Hobson Adoya, who is now the director of special duties for Alan Chamartin's movement for change, said the blasting of dynamite in the Volta region during the election was to scare away voters in the opposition stronghold. Now, prior to the election, we blasted dynamite in parts of the Volta region, and that scared many people. When I finished casting my ballot in Tema, I drove to the Volta region, and when I asked for the number of people who had voted and the expected number of voters, it turned out people did not come out to vote, he stated. Now, speaking in an interview, Adoya clarified that the operation he led, which involved the use of explosives, all happened within the borders of Togo, not Ghana. He said that he constituted a team and took them to Togo to engage the traditional authorities of communities bordering Ghana to urge them to speak to their people so they will not cross the border to vote in the 2016 election. There is this issue in the Volta region during the election that Togolese came and registered to vote. In 2016, they came to register all right, but I took it upon myself to disable the system so that they could not come and vote. But the question is, are they Ghanaians with dual citizenship? That's the question. But well, you want to know more, you got to stay tuned because more is going to be coming your way at 11:45. We need to cross over to other parts of the world. And as I said earlier on, the lines are open for you. You want to join in, feel free to do so. China has held military drills around Taiwan as strong punishment. Now, China has started 2 days of military exercise around Taiwan, with its military calling them strong punishment for the self-ruled island separatist acts. The drills come 3 days after the inauguration of President William Lai, who called on China to stop threatening the island and accept the existence of its democracy. Now, China sees Taiwan as a breakaway province that will eventually be under Beijing control, but the island sees itself as a distinct. Now, Taiwan's defense ministry condemns the Chinese drills as irrational provocation. Now, Taipei dispatched naval, air, and ground forces to defend the island sovereignty, its defense ministry said. Now, Thursday's drills for the first time simulated a full-scale attack. Taiwanese military experts said rather than an economic blockade, the exercise took place all around the main island and for the first time also targeted the Taipei-controlled island of Kinmen, Matsuwiki, and Dongjin, which lie close to the Chinese coast, according to maps released by China's People Liberation Army. The drills also included a component to the east of Taiwan, the island's rugged east coast, and other side of a mountain range has long been its military radar. Now, Taiwan has built much of its hardened military infrastructure along this coast, including a large underground air base inside a mountain near the city of Hualien. It is also close to Japan's southern island and a natural resupply route. By sending naval and air patrols to the east of Taiwan, China aims to show Taipei that its east is now exposed to China's attack, and to show the Americans that any effort to resupply or reinforce Taiwan from the east is vulnerable to Chinese missile strikes and naval attack. The PLA said it drills focused on joint sea-air combat, readiness patrols, precision strikes on key targets, and integrated operations inside and outside the island to test the joint real combat capabilities of its forces. Taiwanese media cited military expert Chi Chong saying the ongoing exercise is aimed at simulating a full-scale armed invasion of Taiwan. You watch the virtually they've encircled Taiwan, they encircled them there. But China has repeatedly rehearsed encircling Taiwan with fighter jets and navy ships over the past year. Taipei has reported an uptick in incursions into Taiwanese waters and airspace in the run-up to Mr. Lai's inauguration. Now, China carried out its first encirclement operation in August 2022, following a historic visit by the U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, simulating a blockade of the main island of Taiwan with ships, aircraft, and missile strikes. The PLA said Thursday's drill were a strong punishment for the separatist act of Taiwan independence forces and a stern warning against the interference and provocation by external forces. Meanwhile, China's foreign ministry insisted the drills were a necessary and legitimate move to safeguard national sovereignty. So, as I said earlier on, I think we are now living in a world where the strong are the one who exists. If you're weak, you are feeble, you are stepped on, you are scrambled on, and the move goes on. So the question is, what do you think exactly is happening in this point? Listeners, this is Star Radio UK. This is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, so this one too will say what Taiwan is doing is an insurrection, but they are already independent. They say they are democratic, they do things by themselves. But President Emmanuel Macron has described rioting in the French Pacific territory of New Caledonia as an unprecedented insurrection movement that no one saw coming. Now, during a tour of police headquarters in the capital, Niamey, on Thursday, he said the coming days and weeks will be difficult, but Paris will go until the end to restore calm. 6 people, including 2 police officers, have been killed and hundreds more wounded in riots, looting, and arson triggered by a controversial electoral reform. Now, New Caledonia, a group of islands between Australia and Fiji, has been a French territory since the 19th century. Now, tensions have been high for some time between the central government in Paris and indigenous Kanaks, who make up 40% of the tiny archipelago. Now, Kanak protesters fear that a new law giving voting rights to French residents who have lived there for more than 10 years will dilute the influence of indigenous people or population. However, the violence that began on 13th of May is the worst unrest seen there since the 1980s. A state of emergency has been imposed on, and President Macron has said that a 3,000 strong force deployed from France will remain even during the Paris Summer Olympics if required. Arriving in Niamey after a 24-hour flight from Paris, President Macron said he wanted the return of peace, calm, and security as quickly as possible. That is the absolute priority, the French leader said. He said respect to the victims of the riot as he met local political and business leaders. The summit included separatist leaders who said beforehand that they hoped it could breathe new life into discussions with France. Mr. Macron admitted that the most delicate conversation to be had was that of politics and of the future of New Caledonia, a correspondent said. Police have held 269 people since the violence began on the 13th of May, and New Caledonia is currently under a state of emergency. But Mr. Macron hinted that the emergency status could be lifted in the coming days, saying, "I personally believe that the state of emergency should not be extended." The New Caledonia has a population of about 300,000 people, including 112,000 indigenous Kanaks. Now, under 1998 Niamey Accord, France agreed to give the territory more political autonomy and to limit voting in provincial and assembly elections to those who were residents there. Now, more than 40,000 French nationals have moved to New Caledonia since. Now, last week, the National Assembly in Paris proposed granting voting rights to French residents who have lived in the territory for 10 years. Because this requires a change to the constitution, the measure faces further hurdles. The Niamey Agreement allowed for 3 referendums on the country's future. The independence was rejected in all instances. The first 2 showed slim majorities for remaining parts of France. The third, in December 2021, was boycotted by pro-independence parties because it was held during the COVID pandemic. So they said, well, you deliberately did that because you know we cannot come out to come and vote. It is all coming your way from Star Radio UK. Let's come to the UK front. Well, so what was happening there? Political parties have kick-started their campaign for the general election. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak ended speculation on Wednesday, saying voters will go to the polls on the 4th of July. Speaking on Thursday, Nick Thomas Simons, Labour MP for Tofin, said the party promises transformational change, while Faye Jones, MP for Brecon and Radenshaw said the Conservatives have a lot to be proud of. Plaid Cymru leader Ron Ap Lowett said his party will be shouting for Wales. The election is the first since a major boundary review which will cut the number of MPs in Wales from 40 to 32. All seats will see their boundaries changed with the exception of Naas Mon. Welsh Labour will be hoping to expand their dominance in Wales, while the Conservatives will defend the ground they won in 2019. At the last election, Welsh Labour won 22 seats, still the largest party despite the performance of the Conservatives. The First Minister and Welsh Labour leader Von Gedding said on X, people across Wales are calling out for a change of government, an end to Tory chaos, and two Labour governments working together for Wales and Britain. Now, interestingly, the day that has been called, the period, the time that has been the election has been called, are seen by some, especially those in Scotland, as a punch in their faces, because especially the SNP are saying that during that time is the time that the summer holidays kick off or has kicked off. So some people will be away, but others are calling for maybe a postal vote so that these individuals can vote before they leave. But well, so former Scotland Health Secretary faces 27 days of suspension over iPad scandal that are put across earlier on. But one of the individuals that people were thinking, if he gets involved, is going to cause lots of uproar, especially for the ruling government, is Nigel Farage. Now, Reform UK founder and honorary president Nigel Farage has announced he will not stand in the general election. There was a speculation he would be unveiled as a candidate by Reform leader Richard Tice this morning. He had previously said he will not make an 8th attempt to become an MP at Westminster under the current first past the post electoral system. In a statement on X, the GB News presenter said he would do my bit to help the party in the campaign, but now it's not the right time for me to go any further than that, he added. Reform insists it is targeting both Conservative and Labour voters, but evidence from recent by-elections suggests the Tories have the most to fear from the party, which Mr. Farage led from 2019 to 2021, when it was known as the Brexit Party. The latest opinion poll puts it around 11% of the national vote, ahead of the Liberal Democrats, and Reform says it will have enough candidates to contest every seat. In the last general election in 2019, the party did not stand in constituencies won by Conservatives in 2017. The party currently has one MP, Lee Anderson, who defected from the Tories in March. Mr. Farage has made it clear he plans to help his friend Donald Trump return to the White House in his presidential election campaign in November. In his statement, Mr. Farage said he had thought long and hard to whether I should stand in upcoming general election. As an honorary president of Reform UK, I'm fully supportive of Richard Tice's leadership and urge voters to put their trust in him and Lee Anderson. I will do my bit to help in the campaign, but it's not the right time for me to go any further than that. Important though the general election is, the contest in the United States of America on November 5 has huge global significance. A strong America as a close ally is vital for our peace and security. I intend to help with a grassroots campaign in the USA in any way that I can. The choice between Labour and the Conservative is uninspiring, and only Reform have the radical agenda that is needed to end decline in the country. Now, Reform has been particularly critical of the Conservative on the issue of immigration and net zero. Now, many Tories fear it could put a significant dent in Rishi Sunak's hopes of a return to Downing Street, but they are likely to be relieved. Mr. Farage had decided against taking on a more prominent role given his high public profile. Responding to Mr. Farage's announcement on X, Mr. Tice said, delighted to have Nigel help during the election campaign. If you want change, you must vote for Reform UK on 4th of July. Mr. Tice took over as reform leader when Mr. Farage decided to step back from frontline politics in 2021 in the aftermath of the UK's withdrawal from the European Union. Mr. Farage previously led the UK Independence Party from 2006 to 2009 and 2010 to 2016 and was a member of the European Parliament for South East England from 1999 until the UK left the EU in 2020. The prominent Eurosceptic from the early 1990s, when he left the Conservative Party following the signing of the Maastricht Treaty, which further Europeans' integration, he was seen as a key figure in the decision to hold the Brexit referendum in 2016. Mr. Farage has stood over the UK Parliament unsuccessfully 7 times, most recently for Southend in Kent in 2015 general election. Westminster's first past the post system has repeatedly scuppered his chances, whereas the proportional representation used for the European Parliament helped him enjoy a long career as an MEP. While working as a presenter on GB News, he took part in the 2023 in the reality TV series I'm a Celebrity. Get more from us when I come your way tomorrow with another edition of the morning show. But that's where I would say thank you very much for tuning in and joining us today on the Starr Radio UK morning show. God willing, tomorrow I'll be coming your way with another edition of the morning show. But for now, don't you go away. And that is where I bring the program to a close. Stay blessed. Let's enjoy this tune from the Intention Band. And it says, Boredejum. I don't get it. If you left for a long time, that's what happens, right? So enjoy the Boredejum. And when it ends and you don't hear from me, it's me, Archie, saying, have a top today. Bye-bye for now.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
Africa is rich, but the African is poor. The land is rich.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
Oh, Africa is rich.
Yewokoko, fango, sikakoko.
But the African is poor.
Ekom, yare, ohiane, ka.
The land is rich.
Yewo nuaba, nuane, nsuo ni eduro.
But the people are sick.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeti nsuo ho. Nanso sukom.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
Ana eni ana ye ni bi. Yeti sikaso nanso eka amene ye. Yanara yesika kokko. Enso sietu a yenya bi ni.